Hi kids, good morning. I hope you all are doing great and you're keeping safe. Okay, so today we have science and this is lesson 2. Okay, now in the previous lesson, I introduced the topic occupation. What did I introduce? Occupation. Now repeat after me, occupation. Okay, so today we're going to look at two different types of occupation. Okay, now what did I say occupation was? I said occupation is what we do to earn a living. Okay, and I gave you examples of occupation: a doctor, a teacher, a nurse, fireman, policeman, a cook, or a chef. So today we're going to learn types of occupation. We're going to learn what a doctor is and what a nurse is. So listen. Now what is a doctor, or rather who is a doctor? Now, do you know a doctor? Have you seen a doctor before? Good. Now if you've seen a doctor before, now do you know what a doctor does? What does a doctor do? Does a doctor teach? Does a doctor cook? No. Now, a doctor is someone that is trained to keep people healthy and heal the sick. Okay? When you're sick, where do you go to? Who do you go to? Do you go to your teacher? No. When you're sick, do you go to the policeman? No, you go to the doctor, right? So a doctor takes care of the sick people. A doctor helps to heal the sick. Now, a doctor works in the hospital. Where does the doctor work? Does the doctor work in school? No. Does the doctor work in the mall? No. A doctor works in the hospital. Now, a doctor, a doctor that takes care of children is called a pediatrician. Now, when you go to the hospital, when you're sick, your mom or dad takes you to the hospital to see a doctor. The doctor you go to see is called a pediatrician. Now, I want you to repeat after me: pediatrician, pediatrician. Okay, now this is the doctor you go to see when you're sick. Now, a pediatrician takes care of kids. Okay, your mama cannot go to a pediatrician because she is an adult, so only kids go to see a pediatrician. Okay, now a doctor takes care of sick people. What does a doctor do? I said a doctor takes care of sick people. Okay, yes. Now let's see the tools that a doctor uses. What are the things the doctor uses in this hospital? Good. Now, tools used by a doctor. Now, have you seen this before? When you go to the hospital, do you see this? Yes, this is called a stethoscope. Now, repeat after me: stethoscope. Again, stethoscope. Say it after me: stethoscope. It is called a stethoscope. This is used to check the heartbeats, get your heartbeat to see if you're breathing. This is what, when you go to the hospital, they place it on your chest, right? Yeah, this is called a stethoscope. Now, this is what a doctor uses. A teacher does not use a stethoscope. Have you seen Miss Sharma using a stethoscope? No. Have you seen Miss Rona using a stethoscope? No. Only a doctor and a nurse uses a stethoscope. Okay. Now, another tool a doctor uses is called a thermometer. Now, repeat after me: thermometer. Now, do you know this? This is called a thermometer. Now, repeat again after me: thermometer. Now, do you know what a thermometer is? Thermometer is used to check your temperature. When you're sick, when you've got a fever, when you go to the hospital, the first thing they do, they check for your temperature, right? Yes, they check for your temperature. Most times they put this in your ears, right? Yes. So this is called a thermometer. Okay. Now a doctor uses a thermometer to check the temperature of his patient. Okay. So this a doctor uses this right now. Don't forget, this is called a thermometer. Good. Now the next occupation is nurse. Repeat after me. Nurse. Again, nurse. Now a nurse is trained to give care or to help people who are sick or injured. Now, I know you'll be wondering, Miss Rona, what is the difference between a doctor and a nurse? Now, a doctor helps to heal sick people, while a nurse takes care or help sick people. Now, listen, when you go to the hospital, the first person you meet is the nurse, right? Yes, the nurse would check for your temperature, then the nurse will transfer you to a doctor, right? Yes, so a nurse gives care or help people who are sick or injured, okay? Now, nurses, they work with doctors. The nurses work with doctors. Nurses does not work with emir. A nurse does not work with a teacher. A nurse work with a doctor. Okay, so nurses work with doctors, and a nurse also works in the hospital. Where can you find a nurse? In the hospital. You can find a nurse in the mall. You can find a nurse in the school. You can find a nurse in the school, yeah, but you can find a nurse in the mall. You can find a nurse in the hospital, because that is where a nurse works. So now we're going to look at tools used by a nurse. One, gloves. You've seen these gloves before? Yes. Now, before, when you go to the hospital, before a nurse attends to you, they put on their gloves, right? Yes, they put on their gloves before they touch you, before they touch anything. They put on their gloves. Now, repeat after me. Repeat after me. Gloves. Again, gloves. Again, gloves. Good. So this is gloves. Gloves is used by a nurse. Now this is called a tongue depressor. A tongue depressor. A tongue depressor. Now what is this used to check for? Have you seen a tongue when you go to the hospital? They want to check if you've got a virus or infection down your throat or chest. They use a tongue depressor, right? They'll tell you to open your mouth, and they'll put it down there to press your tongue so they can see clearly, right? So now this is called a tongue depressor. This is called a tongue depressor. Repeat after me. Tongue depressor. Again, tongue depressor. Good. So now these are some types of occupation and the tools they use. Now there's an activity on the group on the site, a science activity where you have to match the tools to the occupations. Please do make sure you try to do it, okay? Thank you. Take care. Bye.